I am looking for my sanity. Hey crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer. Welcome to a very special Pick a Card reading. This one is inspired by a book that I have recently delved more deeper into as I'm in the process of doing my own shadow work. Today we are going to look at a specific part of yourself that you might not like. So this reading is not for everyone. I felt very inspired to create it, but please only watch it if you feel brave enough to confront parts of yourself that you might not otherwise feel comfortable accepting. The purpose of this reading is not to make you feel bad or weird in any way. It is to provide you with some inspiration to accept parts of yourselves that you might find uncomfortable accepting, parts of yourselves that are self-sabotaging you in some way, that might be affecting your loving relationships, that could be stunting you from truly diving deep into your life purpose, your vocation, and your innate talents and abilities. The shadow self is that part of ourselves that psychologically is a reservoir of things we do not like about ourselves, things that we have been told are bad about ourselves and that we need to keep away from conscious thought and conscious expression of emotion, and especially we should never express in social context. However, the more we repress these aspects about ourselves, the more they tend to unconsciously come up in intimate circumstances, in moments when we are achieving a lot in our lives, and they tend to literally pull the rug from underneath our feet. In the shadow, in this unconscious reservoir of repressed emotions, unexpressed desires, talents and dreams that have been crushed and have been not utilized, there lie a lot of dark aspects about the human nature. There is such a thing as the collective shadow, and there's also the personal shadow. And I will be focusing in this reading today on your personal shadow in order not to help you treat it or get rid of it, because this is a very delicate process that doesn't just happen overnight. It's not like you take a pill and you are shadow free. This is about you finding the courage and the inner light and the inner strength to admit certain parts of yourselves that are just difficult to sit with. You might find out that potentially your blind spot is being incredibly selfish, or it is being uncommittal, or it is being quite fickle or drama prone, or maybe you have some sort of inherent racist or gender-based bias that is blocking you from truly connecting deeply with other people on a compassionate and understanding level. The thing is that, and the trick, the irony, the paradox with the shadow is that the moment we accept it, it stops controlling us. The moment we decide, I am going to sit with parts of myself that I'm not comfortable sitting with, and I will accept them, and I will bring them up to my consciousness, that's the moment when you can enact positive change in your life. When instead of being at the mercy of your shadow because you're thinking, no, I am never that kind of a person, other people are like that, and that really angers me. So that's projecting your shadow onto other people rather than owning your responsibility for it. But the moment when you pull it back in, you hold it and you sit with that uncomfortable realization, that moment of deep honesty with yourself can help you create relationships and create a life built on a very solid emotional and psychological foundation. Our shadow can push us into self-harm. It can push us into abusing other people, into indulging in things that harm our bodies, like drug addictions, alcoholism. Our shadow can really make us feel that we build something all the way up in our life and we sacrificed a lot of things only to destroy it the moment when we reach the top, whether that is a marriage that we created and we self-sabotage it into destruction, or a career that we worked very hard to reach at a specific level and then we just throw it away. So it's really important, as much as possible, and especially if you have natal planets in the 7th house of the zodiac by transit as well, to really come to terms with the shadow aspect, to really do some shadow work. So shadow work is basically the constant process of making a commitment to accept parts of yourselves that are not comfortable, to bring them up to light, to find out in the process of curiously getting to know yourself, okay, what made me react in this way? Why did I get so triggered when that person say that? Why did I lash out in that moment? Why did I drop this opportunity? Why did I not react on the spot? When you ask yourself these questions, you have begun your shadow work process. And then it's all a process of continuing to be brave and courageous with accepting whatever it is that you find out about yourself. So for example, you might find out that I lashed out at that person because I felt like they owed me something. I was envious of what they had and I wanted it for me. So let's dive deeper into that envy and understand, what does that person have that I want and what makes me feel that I cannot have it too? Maybe we need to start changing certain things in my life so that I can actually have what the other person has too. So this is just one example of many, and I do strongly advise you to apply whatever you hear in this reading today to your situation. Please only watch this reading when you are ready, when you are well rested. It will be available here for free on my channel for you to tap into whenever you feel ready for it. Please don't watch it when you're tired, when you're stressed. Tarot and the readings that I do here on my channel are meant to be entertaining, but I also want to teach you something and I also want to inspire you. So I do hope that after you watch this reading, you take some time to rest, you take some time to do something playful, and maybe you also start journaling. Maybe it inspires you to pick up a pen or open a Word doc. A Pages document and just start typing whatever it is that this reading has inspired you to think of. So that is my intention. This is my duty as a light worker, to continue to raise awareness, to continue to help you face both your lighter aspects, but also your darker aspects. All of us, without exclusion, without exception, have both light and shadow. And I'm very grateful for Christine Jetty and her wonderful book, Tarot Shadow Work for Healing, which I will link in the description box below for you guys to have a look. It's a short book. It's packed with practical advice. It's very simply written. And Christine also has a really powerful background and a story where she shares with us how she managed to understand and overcome some aspects of her shadow work. Give yourself time. Don't get impatient if things don't work out right off the cuff. This is a process. It's a step-by-step understanding of your own becoming. And I do hope that you enjoy the process of getting to know yourself, because that is the most powerful way through which you can enact positive changes in your life. Break a couple of ancestral spells and curses, and truly live up to your potential and attain happiness, attain deep intimacy, create whatever it is that your heart desires, but from a conscious self, not from a self that is being pushed left and right in life at the mercy of unconscious shadow aspects. Okay? So, in this reading today, I will be using to diagnose the issue, the White Witch Tarot. I will be using the spreads that are to be found in Christine Jetty's book. I will begin by using the Star of Recovery, and then I will be using the Star of Discovery. No, sorry. See, it's like unconscious processes already are rising up to the surface. What I meant is the opposite. So already I'm kind of integrating certain aspects of myself by actually misspeaking them. And it's interesting because Freud actually considered that whenever we misspeak something, that's an aspect of our shadow self, right? And most of the things that I will be interpreting here today are based on Christine's book, and Christine's book is actually based on Carl Gustav Jung's work. And as you guys know, Carl Gustav Jung and Sigmund Freud are the forefathers of modern psychology. But just the only difference is that Jung was much more into analyzing the collective unconscious. He was into spirituality and tarot and trying to understand how these ways in which we decide to understand reality affect the inner workings of our mind. Yeah, so he had a very psychological view of the practice of tarot and the occult, but he was more open-minded to it rather than Freud, who tended to be strictly following the scientific method in his practice. So following this short psychoanalytical introduction, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background. I'm really allowing myself time to stretch and expand in this reading today, and I will get quite deep. So cozy up, get yourself a nice cup of cocoa, get yourself a hot coffee or hot tea, bundle up because we are going to dive deeply today. I'm going to be clarifying whatever I see from the White Witch 22 Major Arcana cards tarot. I will be using the Dark Mirror by Laura Sava and Riccardo Minetti to give you a second layer of clarity as to what is or what are most likely, because there will be 6 aspects, as you will see in a second in the spread, that lie dormant in your shadow self and might be working against you. And then, and this is my own personal addition to this tarot reading, I will be bringing light into the situation. So first, we're going to confront your shadow aspect, and then we're going to treat it with a lot of light, inspiration, and hope. I'm going to be using, in order to do this, I'm going to be using the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards to give you the Ascended Master's help. And then I'll be using the Angel Prayers Oracle cards. They're both by Kyle Gray, a wonderful spiritual guide. And the beautiful part about the Angel Prayers is that they have gratitude affirmations. So whatever we encounter in the first part of the reading, we are going to shed a lot of light and a lot of gratitude for the lessons that we are learning in the session today. The beautiful part is that this is a one-way thing. It's not just me trying to tell you what you need to work on in yourself, but as you noticed earlier with my Freudian slip, I am also working actively in healing myself and in working with the energy of my Uranus transit in the 7th house. By doing this healing work for you, I'm also exploring my own shadow aspects to hopefully grow and expand my potential alongside with you. So this is a mutually creative endeavor. We're all in this together. No one is above or below one another. It's just that we all might have a variety of complexes in our shadow self that I think we are ready to bravely face today in this reading. So, without further ado, you have a choice here today between 3 different doors. So, I hand-drawn this. My skills are not the best, but I hope that this design can speak to you in a certain way. You can unlock door number 1. You can either unlock door number 2, and feel free to be drawn towards either the number or the patterns that you see here. And then we also have door number 3, which looks a little bit like a curtain. Okay guys, so if you've made your choice, then let's get to your pile. I'm excited and a little bit apprehensive about this reading, but yeah, I'm ready to do it. So let's start. Hey Group 1, this is for those of you that chose the first door. Are you ready to unlock it and bravely do some shadow work? Great, so I'm gonna guide you through it. We're gonna begin first by diagnosing what lies in your shadow self. And to do so, I'm going to use the star spread of discovery, which can be found in Christine Jetty's book, linked in the description box below. She's the one that inspired me to do this reading. Okay, so I'm shuffling the cards, but now I'm just going to be pulling from them. Position 1, denial. Position 2, anxiety. Position 3, inferiority. Position 4, anger. Position 5, secrets. And position 6, self-loathing. And this is the key to the star spread. I'm going to flip open these cards and begin to dive into what could be the root cause of all the pain, the complexes, the self-sabotaging behaviors that lie in your shadow self. Okay? And after I do this, I will pull some more cards from the Dark Mirror Oracle to bring some extra clarity to what the Major Arcana has been showing us. So, position 1, denial. Wow, you have strength there. So, I guess it's not difficult to interpret that I feel you might be afraid of your power. You could genuinely receive criticism from other people regarding how strong you are. Other people might use your strength against you. There could be an issue here with denying the fact that you are strong and easily falling into a place of learned helplessness, almost as if you feel that you are vulnerable. You were told you are vulnerable, and strength is what makes you not feel like you are yourself. So strength in the denial position, denying your own strength. What gives you anxiety? What brings you up a lot of fear? We have here the Chariot. Wow. You're afraid of moving forward with the plans you might have in your life. You're afraid of movement in general, people moving towards you, you moving towards people, making big moves. Could be something that is blocking you at the moment in your life. It's bringing up a lot of anxiety. And I think that even doing this shadow work exercise might be stoking up your fear, in which case I do strongly advise you to take a break and not listen to this reading if you feel a level of uncomfortable anxiety rising up within you. Take a break, leave it, do something else. Or if you want to proceed, wonderful. I do advise you to watch until the end because I will bring a lot of light into this reading as well after we look at more uncomfortable parts that lie in your shadow. Let's see what might be causing you to feel inferior. The Hanged Man. It's beautifully linked to the Chariot because your fear of movement is blocking you and making you feel like you're not good enough because you tend to be quite passive. You tend to leave things hanging. There is a fear of making decisions here that is strongly popping up. So the Hanged Man in the position of inferiority also tells me that potentially you were shamed from taking action in your life by your parents, especially if you are a woman and you were educated that you just need to receive or you need to be taken care of or tended to. You might be even afraid of exploring your body, of exploring yourself as an autonomous individual. Let's see right now, what triggers you the most? What angers you about other people and about life in general? Which again, as I said at the beginning, it shows aspects of yourselves that you find it very hard to integrate, to accept. Because normally what triggers us about other people is something within ourselves that we cannot understand and love. So anger, the Fool, wow. I'm surprised at how these cards are speaking to one another, almost like it's a symphony taking place here. You are angered by people's reckless behaviors, uncontrolled desire to just impulsively lunge into something. So we see already a story unfolding. In denial of your inner strength, anxious about your capacity to take action in your life, to move forward with your plans, feeling a sense of inferiority about leaving things hanging, but nonetheless feeling the compulsion to leave things hanging, to not respond, to not take charge. Because what triggers you the most is people that are impulsive, that just jump into things, people that just freely use their energy, people that are foolish and reckless, or so you might consider their actions, because they are not controlled and fitting within a certain scenario, like you were told to fit within a certain scenario. And I feel like making this gesture because there's this holding space, a holding space that was created. We see the hands that are opening outwards, right? But at the same time, they're also clenching together in the Strength card. And this holding space can sometimes become suffocating, like a prison, the Hanged Man. But let's keep it moving. We have here the card in the position of the secrets is the Sun. What is a family secret? What is something you don't want to talk to other people about? Your goals, your identity, your desire to shine, to perform, to show yourself out into the world. Your strength is being kept away from you because your vitality is a secret to you. You have a world packed with talent, inspiration, and you're wrapping it all up inside of yourself. You're keeping it a secret. You're hiding this part of yourself from other people as you're struggling to conform in a painful way, as you're struggling to fit this box that is strongly starting to look like a grave or a carton box from which you cannot move out, like a prison. The Hanged Man talks about Pisces energy, the 12th house, and the 12th house is seclusion in a confined environment, whether that is a mental health ward or a prison. A space where we give of ourselves, where we dissolute our identity. Sorry, not dissolute, that's a poor word. Dissolve our identity. And we give ourselves to other people for them to take action upon us, for them to decide what we should be doing, rather than us coming into our strength instead of denying it. Final card, and this is actually the toughest, so let's take a deep breath in. Okay, the final card talks about self-loathing. So let's see. The Emperor. If you are a woman, what you loathe about yourself is your masculine side. Your animus is deeply wounded. Anything that has to do with acting like a man, behaving like a man, the characteristics of the divine masculine, competitiveness, aggression, go-getting attitudes, reason, planning, taking things step by step and building strongly. putting your feelings to the side so you can serve a greater cause. Drive, determination, sexuality, all of these aspects, you hate them about yourself. You do not want to accept them, love them, bring them into you. There might be a deep father wound here that needs healing. But I see your animus, that masculine side of yourself, is deeply wounded. And if you are a man, there is a deep self-loathing here. And I'm actually hearing a child on the corridor talking to her mother or father. This is something that stems from your deep childhood. You were shamed or punished or blamed for being strong-willed, for wanting things done in a certain way, for showing your identity, for being active, full of life and vital, potentially even for self-pleasuring yourself. As you were growing up and discovering your body, you were shamed. And this is a part of yourself that you cut off as you were growing up, growing older. You try to dissociate yourself from your masculinity, from your animus. The secret is your capacity to shine, your talents, which can only be brought into being as long as you take action with confidence. But this is what gives you so much anxiety. So you're being kept in this box, in a position of inferiority, potentially by the people in your life. And you're being told that being foolish, being determined and jumping, taking risks, plunging yourselves into the unknown, mastering the unknown is terrifying. Only stupid people do that. And you are not like them. So you continue to dissociate from such behaviors, thereby stifling your masculinity. You do not think of yourself as powerful. You do not like to think of yourself as aggressive. You do not like to think that you are intimidating. You like to play up the anima, the feminine part of yourself, and you're in denial of your strength. You think that you need somebody else. You feel that you need this masculine energy to come to you from the outside. But the only way in which you can truly start living your life and express your identity and live up to your talents and to your creativity is if you love and accept your masculine energy, the emperor. Accept the emperor within. If you want to be that emperor without. And if you want to attract people that relate to you from this position of authority and strength, rather than people that victimize you, place you in a corner, tell you what to do, dominate you. Now let's see what the dark mirror has to say. If we layer this up, I'm going to shuffle the cards, but then I'll pull them because I want to bring a different energy. So let's see. Sacrifice in the denial position. Hiding your true self in the anxiety position. Bride in a cage. In the inferiority condition. Oh my goodness, this is so strongly resonating. Calling the storm in the anger position. Blinded to pain in the secrets position. And then we have here as well, perchance to dream in the self-hatred position. God, allowing yourself to dream, to truly create your life, rather than waiting for other people to come into. And then you feel like you can start your life. You've been taught from a very early age how to self-sacrifice, how to give your strength to other people, how to allow other people to say what goes in your life and what doesn't. Placed in a position of passivity, a bride in a cage, only potentially treasured for your external beauty. We see here in this image a bride looking at the price tag, and then her head is a skull. It's like feeling a little bit lifeless, feeling like you're just acting a part that was created by other people in your life for you. But there is anger brewing up within you that you've been placed in this position, and this unexpressed anger is your wounded masculine self, the Emperor, who's not allowed to come out. So this reading is so much about dealing with the masculine, the wounded masculine aspect of yourself, accepting your animus, accepting the fact that you have a masculine side. No longer putting yourself into a situation of pain. You could be, and this might be for some of you out there, not all of you who chose this group, but you could be harming yourself, self-harm, cutting yourself, things of that nature, or maybe even wearing clothes that are making you feel very uncomfortable in a milder form. This is about wanting to be punished, wanting to be tied up. It's almost as if you associate being in a connection to pain. It's almost as if you want somebody to just completely destroy your identity, or you want to give yourself to such an extent that you forget who you are to that person, rather than truly showing the world who you are. No longer covering up, no longer hiding, no longer being afraid of who you are, but truly stepping into it. Red, Mars energy, the divine masculine, Aries, the god of war. This is who you need to integrate in your psyche. This is who you need to make peace with. The many different aspects of masculinity. The nurturing, caring, but also toxic, traditional, violent aspects of masculinity. We all have a masculine side to ourselves. The women have the animus, the men have the anima as their feminine side. But we're all yin and yang. These are energies that reside within ourselves. And if one part of yourself, which I see here as the yin, is the only part that is ruling your conscious life, you have a shadow that can actually start perpetrating in very unconscious, dubious, random ways all of those things that you hate about the masculine side. You could get randomly aggressive. You could be competitive, pushy. You could be very strict. You could be a little bit of a control freak. And the funny part is that all of these aspects exist in your shadow, so you're not aware of them, but other people see that as they relate to you. They see that within yourself. But you think of yourself as being passive, feminine, and self-sacrificing, when in reality, what comes out is this unacknowledged masculine sense of self, and this could be the key to why certain parts of your life might not be working, because your masculine, the emperor element, the emperor archetype, needs to be accepted and acknowledged. So the affirmation can be, I accept the emperor within me. I accept my masculine self. I am willing and open to heal my shadow. I am willing to explore it and see what else comes up. I am willing to admit to myself that yes, sometimes I get angry, that foolish, reckless behaviors anger me because I am not allowed to act in this way in my life. How can I change things for the better now that I am aware of this shadow? And now, since we reached this part of the reading, let's bring light into it, shall we? So, dear Spirit, what Ascended Masters need to come through to help Group 1 accept and love their shadow? To heal your denial, we have here faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. To heal your anxiety, we have here Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. To heal your inferiority, wow, Master Jesus, forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. So the image of Jesus as an ascended master confirms what I said initially when we looked at the Emperor in the self-loathing position. Heal the wound that was inflicted in you in relation to a man you loved. Accept that. And as you do so, your shadow will diminish and your power will rise up to the surface. In the anger position, we have Odin. To heal your anger, you have psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. To heal secrecy and what you like to keep covered from other people. Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. I'm getting such a deep sense of peace as I'm actually pulling these cards, and I hope I can transmit this to you. And finally, to heal self-hatred, we have here White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. I felt an instant heart chakra opening, like something melted in my chest. I'm so thankful for doing this reading for you. This is beautiful. We are not done yet. I do want to bring you your affirmations. So as you can see, there are these really powerful ascended masters here, and you have some of the strongest around. There is a really beautiful balance of feminine presences, but mostly masculine energies to help you heal the inner emperor, to help you become it rather than seek it frantically outside of yourself. You might be unconsciously looking to be dominated by an emperor, but what you would benefit from, what your entire life would benefit from, is if you acknowledge the inner emperor within and heal the father wound that was enacted within you in childhood. This could be something that has been passed down from generation to generation in your family, a sense of self-hatred for wanting to be proactive, for wanting to be, or just active, not even proactive, just active, for wanting to compete. This could be self-sabotaging not only connections with men and authority, but also your capacity to become a boss, a leader, a business person. So I hope this sheds a lot of light and it comforts you. Let's see what affirmations you would benefit from in this period to help you heal this. Okay. So the first gratitude is, live your joy. Thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow my joy. Feel free to say these affirmations once you have completed your shadow work, or just as I go about showing them to you. So live your joy. Engage with this energy of truly being happy and thankful for your life, no matter how difficult it is. The Divine Physician, Archangel Raphael. Thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. So what is provoking anxiety could also be concerns about your health, not feeling strong enough to lift things, to move, to walk around, feeling as if your physical integrity can be taken away from you anytime. Fears of being abducted or raped or attacked. But Raphael is here to heal. Raphael is here to heal. No English. This fear, this anxiety. regarding your body, your physical integrity. What can heal you of inferiority? Signs from heaven. Thank you, heaven, for sending me reminders of your presence, a sense of feeling divinely protected. If you're struggling with wounding in your own family of origin, you can certainly have a spiritual family that you can turn to. You see all these ascended masters here. Or you can also have a soul family that you can create. Your friends, the people you work with, the kindness of strangers. Furthermore, what else can you be grateful for to heal anger? Inner power, the Divine Father. Wow, do you see the theme being enacted over and over again? We're really healing something really deeply here regarding the father wound. Divine Father, thank you for co-creating my world with me. Yes. What can help you come out of secrecy? Synchronicity. Thank you, angels. I trust your well-timed guidance and signs. Accepting both your feminine side and your masculine side, the yin to your yang. Whenever you see synchronicities around you, it's not a sign that love is coming. It's a sign that you are ready to love your inner emperor. You are ready to accept yourself. You are ready to tap into this joy. So maybe do a stretch and a small victory dance, or just feel how you are protected. Feel the spiritual presence at work in your life. And the final thing you can heal, the final affirmation, there you go. You can have the masculine energy and the feminine energy within you. It's not a case of either or. You are a peaceful warrior, Archangel Ariel. Thank you, Ariel, for helping me stand my ground with peace. So you can stand up for yourself with peace. You can enact a sense of peaceful resistance in your life. You can tell people away in a compassionate voice. You do not have to accept the necessarily lower energy or toxic parts of a distorted form of masculinity. You might be afraid of that masculine aspect because of the shadow, of the collective shadow of masculinity that we see in the world at the moment. You can adopt a healthy sense of your inner masculinity. Potentially, you suffer from a lack of good role models. But I feel that this is just the beginning of your journey. This is by no means the end. This reading is meant to help inspire you to do some more research, to do some more work, and maybe read books, come into contact with people, have those important conversations, do some digging in your family line, and find out creative ways as to how you can balance your feminine side, which is highly developed, with your more masculine side, which has been repressed, and thereby bring love and a lot of understanding to this shadow aspect of yourself. So this is the reading that I had for you, Group 1. It's something slightly different than what I like to create on my channel, but I felt super called to do it for you right now in Scorpio season, the sign of the shadow. So I hope this helped, I hope it served, and I really hope to see you in my next one. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. I'm sending you away on your beautiful journey of self-discovery with so much love. Bye. Hello, Group 2. It was 44:44 the moment I pressed record on your reading. Thank you so much for being here at a slightly unique and different type of PickACard reading. I hope that this will be an inspiring and healing session for you that helps you admit certain uncomfortable truths about yourself, and also helps you accept and love those parts of yourselves that you might not necessarily enjoy. We're doing some deep shadow work in this reading today, inspired by my own shadow work and my own understanding of Christine Jetty's book, Tarot Shadow Work for Healing, which I am linking in the description box below if you want to have a look, if you want to continue this work. This is by no means a complete reading in itself. I just mean to open up certain aspects to give you clues and insights, because sometimes it's helpful when another person can give us this detached perspective on ourselves. But then I want you to take whatever you hear in this reading and apply it to your own situation, filter it, make it your own, right? You have the power in each and every moment of your day. And this is why we're doing this shadow work, so that you can gain even more power by not allowing unconscious things to self-sabotage your chances of happiness in life, but by becoming aware of them and thereby getting on top of them, if that makes sense. So this is for those of you that were drawn to door number 2. I'm going to put it over here, and I'll begin first by drawing the Star of Discovery, which is the spread presented in Christine's book, and using the White Witch Tarot. Let's find out. Sorry, I had to expel some air. Okay. Position 1, denial. Position 2, anxiety. Position 3, inferiority. Position 4, anger. Position 5, secrets. And position 6, self-loathing. This is what lies in your shadow, symbolically speaking. I'm going to flip open these cards and interpret them as I go along. Once I have completed this process, I will pour some more clarifiers for you from the Dark Mirror Tarot, Oracle, sorry. See, I'm also working through my own shadow aspect of trying to be more specific and precise. So clarifying what I see in the tarot with the Dark Mirror Oracle. And then the beautiful part, and this is my own addition to Christine's work, I'm going to bring a lot of light into your reading by giving you a group of supportive ascended masters that you can work with, and a group of affirmations of gratitude from the Angel Prayers deck to help you accept and love parts of yourselves that you might struggle to love. Okay, so let's see. In the denial position, we have judgment. Wow. You're denying the fact that you can be judgmental, that you judge other people very strongly. Other people might tell you that this is what's happening, and you might just smooth it over and say, no, I don't do that. I never do that. I never judge. Peace and love and all things cuddly. But I see very clearly here that what you're denying about yourself is the fact that you can judge people quite harshly. And I think that this is because you're also judging yourself very harshly. I feel there is a lot of internal mental pressure to be perfect, to get things right. No wonder I tripped over my words at the beginning of your reading, but I hope that the way in which I'm working to become more conscious about my Freudian lisps is also inspiring you as well, and is beginning to inspire you as well to accept parts of your shadow self. So judgment, we start off very strongly. Okay, hold on with it, okay? Don't jump to conclusions, don't try to justify. The whole purpose of this reading is to accept, is to just open up your curiosity and see what pops through. Then, when you have the big picture, we can filter through it. Now, in the position of anxiety, what gives you the most anxiety? The Magician, a sense of power, a sense of having a lot. I feel that you tend to be overwhelmed by abundance. You are overwhelmed by thinking that you can indeed have it all. This judgment function and the denial position might want to keep you at a certain level in life, and you're anxious about overcoming that level because you might be faced with the unknown. So it is better to know something that is keeping you stuck and in denial, because that is something you can rely upon, rather than to grow Get outside of a comfort zone, step into a sense of powerful manifesting, and create more than what you already know. We're going to unblock this judgment. We're going to see how we can help it flow. Now, what is bringing up a lot of inferiority? What is creating this sense of, let me just lower the camera. Yeah, there we go. What is bringing up this feeling of you're less than? The Lovers. Oh my goodness. The Lovers in the position of inferiority. This talks a lot about not being able to make decisions, or when you made decisions, they were discounted. Not being able to tap into love, feeling loved by others, but also feeling this sense of love within yourself, this warmth, this loving energy around you. The strict inner critic is keeping you away from feeling like you deserve love. It's making you feel inferior to other people that have love in their lives. Oh, this is deep. We can take deep breaths through it, okay? In the anger position, what angers you about other people, which also shows what you find hard to accept about yourself. Temperance. Interesting. So this is about kindness, balance, feeling as if you're protected by a divine force. This angers you. You might argue with people that tell you that you are protected and loved. No, how can you tell me that? This pisses me off when I know I'm not, when I know I'm struggling to love and be loved, when I know I'm afraid of power and magic and the occult, and of woo-ha or living in la la land. Temperance. You're angered by other people's balanced perspective on life, by their inner peace. You're angered and triggered by people who make it work, even if life is complicated and difficult. By people who have a strong connection to the divine. When you don't understand, how can they possibly have such a connection with the divine when the divine is not showing up for you? But it is only not showing up for you truly because of this harsh inner critic that you seem to be linked to, almost married to. Don't worry, we're gonna explore this more, yeah? In the position of secrets, what do you hide from other people? What could be a family secret? The Star. Hope. The fact that there is hope. My goodness, this makes me feel like I grew up in a very toxic environment, where people were asking certainties of you, where any opportunities to explore, to be creative, to have fun with the unknown, to let things loose and hanging and relaxed, were blocked. They were limited. I'm even hearing incarceration. There might have been some incarceration. There's a sense of hopelessness. The secret is the fact that there is hope available to you, even though you feel like it's hopeless, even though you feel like there's nothing there to look forward to, there's nothing else to expect. And the Star talks about intelligence as well. An intelligence that is created by having a deep connection to spirit, like the intelligence of people that are writing for a living, people that need to tap into their reason, but also something else, their creative, inspiring nature. People that serve a certain muse, whether it is music, art, creative writing, crafting. The secret is that you want to be creative, you are highly intelligent, and you are a hopeful, optimistic person, but you're hiding this from other people. The secret is that you actually hold a lot of hope that one day you will be loved, and that you do feel like you are part of the divine. You do feel like you are made of stars. The secret is you enjoy astrology, the occult, tarot. That's why you're here. But you were taught to hide this. And that is the secret. And now let's see the final card. This is the toughest one, okay? So let's take a deep breath. This talks about self-loathing, what you abhor about yourself. So what you really hate about yourself. This is you at your worst days. Oh my goodness. Wow, this packed a punch. I felt it in my belly. Death. Yes, Scorpio energy. You are so afraid and hating on the idea of transformation. Change mortifies you. Not knowing where you stand, having to deal with the unpredictable, leaving things to chance, going with the flow. Even I feel me saying these words right now, you could be thinking, oh my God, no, that's something I don't want to engage with. No. So on one hand, because we're talking about how your conscious self is blending with what we have found out about your shadow self. On one hand, consciously, you could have this personality that is saying, I'm actually on the path towards love, I'm very balanced, I love astrology and the occult. And on the other hand, you're finding it very hard to feel these things, to align with these things, to manifest. And this is predominantly because you're in denial of the fact that you are judging yourself very strongly, and that thereby you end up judging other people very strongly. You compare yourself to a lot of spiritualists. You want to be like them rather than learn from them how to transform into your fullest potential. You might model yourself, you might want to style yourself like them, but this is only on the surface level, the conscious aspect of it. Unconsciously, there is a deep need to accept that you are living with a very strong inner critic, and you need to make peace with that inner critic and silence it, to step into your true power and start manifesting. Because you can give to yourself this love that you did not receive from other people. You were made to feel stupid or foolish when you were loving, when you were creative. You were made to feel inferior if you were loving, if you were in your feelings. When you were younger, potentially, or by the people in your environment. It could even happen at the moment. But the way forward is to accept the things that trigger you about other people. They lie within you as well. If you're upset that certain people are living their best lives, you too can do that. You too can live your best life. You too can have a balanced, measured approach to everything you do in your life. Because secretly, you are a hopeless romantic. Secretly, you are a person that's incredibly full of feelings. You have this strong connection to the divine, but you might have sacrificed it. You might have wanted to obliterate yourself, to disappear. You might have craved in certain dark moments of your life to just not be here anymore, to transition. Because you might have felt, what's the point? You see, it's crying, right? What's the point? There's this hold. This control that needed to be exercised. You're afraid of taking control of your life. You hate the idea of taking control of your life. But this is how your shadow got bigger and bigger and more judgmental and more controlling with you. So accepting these aspects of your life is the path forward towards making peace with the shadow. The point is not to kill or disintegrate your shadow and throw it away. We cannot do that. Our shadow always lives with us. But we can diminish it or we can amplify it. We can allow it to completely take control of our life, almost to the point where it becomes our destiny. And it's a pretty dark destiny when the shadow rules your life. Or we can temper it, right? We can have a certain degree of control over it because we are aware of those things that we do not like about ourselves. So now, group 2, I want to give you even more clarity. Maybe the major arcana are a bit too mystical at this point. Let's dive deeper into the exploration of your shadow by using the Dark Mirror Oracle. Take cleansing deep breaths as you're watching this reading. We're doing a lot of beautiful work at the moment, okay? Stay with it, my love. I'm really proud of you. Okay? I feel like you needed to hear these words. So, let's see. Denial, judgment is amplified by, wow, parasite. This card talks about an entity that attaches itself to another life force to drain it of energy. The parasite speaks of codependency, needing something else in order to survive, in order to get through the day, needing that fix, needing that person, needing that energy, and going almost to the point where you're exhausting that thing that feeds you, going to it hard and fast and unrelentlessly until it gives you what you want. Because that thing gives you the love that you cannot give yourself, the energy that you cannot give yourself, the hope that, again, you cannot give yourself because your shadow is under the grip of a stern judge. This might be also connected to a certain religious viewpoint that you were brought up in that split you into this very dualistic way of thinking, good and bad. People are either good or they're bad. But accepting your shadow is the process of understanding that we are constantly living in a gray zone, that even when we know certain things, we actually do not fully comprehend them. Life is a great mystery. And the way to silence your inner critic is to let go of needing to categorize things so neatly, because you cannot be categorized as a human being. So you're freeing yourself by letting go of this judgment. Let's see. The Magician is clarified by gilded regret. Not stepping into your power has filled you up with a world of regret. I too could have been that person. I too could have made this leap forward. I too could have written that book, gone for that job, went for that relationship. But instead, it's a world of regret that I feel you end up living with. You parked it all in your shadow, and you somehow, with the gilded one, it's almost as if you created a painted picture over it. You put on a nice shiny crown on regrets that have been piling up in your heart because you did not allow yourself to go for risky situations, to take risks in life due to this feeling of, I cannot do this. Who am I to do this? What do I think I am? Judgment, right? The inner critic blocking you from opportunity, from manifesting your heart's desires, the Magician. Taking another deep breath in. Oh. Okay, let's proceed. And I promise you there will be light coming in. But first we need to go through this process of sitting uncomfortably with whatever it is that we find. We're growing in this process. We're maturing emotionally, okay? So, the Lovers, we have here revenge. So feeling inferior might make you lash out. Feeling like people have taken away from you that which should have been rightfully yours might make you feel like you are under the energy of an angry force that needs to lash out and retaliate. If you have what I wasn't brave enough to claim in my own life, then I'm gonna bring you down with me, bring you down to my level. Again, these are aspects that hide in your unconscious self. These aspects might come out of you and you might be wondering, why did I react in such a vengeful way? Again, this is part of you acknowledging your shadow. And working with it, making it friends with you. Now, Clarifying the Temperance card in a position of anger. Yes, look, exactly what I was saying. Is this me? So oftentimes you might find yourself acting out of character, maybe lashing out at people that have a healing mission, that are doing some form of work that helps support other people, simply getting through their days. You might lash out at them, you might criticize them, and then you stop yourself thinking, what is going on? But I'm a creature of love and light. Well, it's this, the judgment. Judging yourself and projecting this outwards into judging other people in anger, lashing out in moments when feelings overwhelm you. And these feelings are the unexpressed, unacknowledged feelings in your own shadow part. The Star, secrets. Clarifying it further, envious gluttony. Whoa, this is pretty strong. It packs a punch. Envious gluttony, wanting what other people have to the point where you become obsessed with it, wanting it so badly it hurts, thinking that you cannot create it for you, that you need that person that has been doing their own work to do it for you. This might be an over-reliance on substances, on food, to help fill that inner void that is created within you by not acknowledging your own power. You could be stuck in a loveless marriage. You could be stuck in a job you hate, fantasizing about what other people have that looks picture perfect. And then you might be, instead of taking action, your shadow self takes over. So action to make these changes, your shadow self takes over and tells you to eat a lot to stuff that feeling down, or tells you to drink a lot to stuff that feeling down. Whichever way your shadow wants you to react, it's, instead of helping you change and grow, it's actually blocking you into a state of coping strategies that keep reinforcing this envious gluttony. Gluttony talks about wanting a lot of things, not knowing the limit. Greed. And again, it makes me think, because gluttony is one of the 7 sins, that there is some sort of religious healing that needs to happen here. Potentially you were brought up in a very strict religion. And this is where the split happened. This feeling that you might feel that you are, your inner critic most likely is telling you that you are high and mighty if you belong to a certain group of people. But in reality, you know you aren't. You know you aren't. That's why you're seeking what other people have. So again, I'm talking here from the position of your shadow aspect, from these truths that are uncomfortable to hear, which are only part of yourself. There is also the conscious self, which I think is you striving towards love and light and change and improvement. But this work can only reach a deeper level of wholesomeness and fullness and happiness if you love and embrace that which you loathe about yourself. So, further clarifying death, we have here anger and chains. Wow. Oof. You are a person with incredible feelings. You're so strong and powerful. But I feel like you've been educated to wrap them up, keep them under tight control. There is the need for you to acknowledge your anger, to acknowledge the envy that you might be feeling, the feelings of revenge. We all feel such feelings at certain points in our lives. We all have a shadow. Your story doesn't make you weird or strange. On the contrary, we're doing this work here today to help empower you. So finding outlets for you to accept this anger, for you to accept this desire to annihilate yourself sometimes. This could come out in Behaviors such as drinking yourself to sleep, or eating yourself until your stomach lining hurts, or engaging in acts where you just separate from the people you love, where you judge them, where you criticize them to the point where they just take off and leave, where there is no leeway for communication, because one needs to continuously be told that they are right rather than to be loved, rather than to accept flaws in other people and be loved. Also, the anger that is not acknowledged and that resides in your shadow self might come across as passive aggression. And it could lead you towards feelings of low self-worth, depression, almost to the point of entertaining suicidal thoughts. So I needed to mention this. Again, this is also hiding in your shadow aspect, but it is nonetheless powerful. So the more you become aware of such behaviors, such unconscious behaviors that are manifesting in your life, so again, you might not be aware of these because this is what the shadow is doing. It's keeping things away from you. It's keeping them in your blind spot. Other people see them in personal connections, and then you wonder, why did this person react to me in this way? What triggered me to behave in such a manner? Well, I hope that these cards have shed a light to this shadowy, dark aspect of yourself, and that now you're able to see it, acknowledge it, and embrace it, holding it. It is part of you. You are these things too, and that doesn't make you less lovable. It makes you human. And hopefully, in time, as you will continue on this process of self-growth and self-knowledge, it will make you feel powerful. True power. Not the power that you gain by associating yourself with powerful people. Now, this is the part of your reading when I'm going to shed light onto everything that we saw here, onto this darkness. So, I need to move my leg as well because I am aware as well that sitting in the lotus position has hurt my muscles. So I'm stretching them and we're densifying the atmosphere. Let's see. What can help you heal denial is charity, prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. Yes. Giving of yourself to other people, giving without judging, giving just because, giving your time, money, energy, effort, gifts, love to others just because you can. Silence that inner critic that tells you don't give money to that person because they're just going to use it on drugs. Don't give love to this person because they might end up cheating on you. Shh. Silence that. Silence the doubt. You might even feel annoyed at me for the fact that I shushed you, but again, I'm not shushing you, I'm shushing that inner critic. And just give of yourself. Generosity, charity is what will help you work with your shadow aspect. What can help you heal anxiety? Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. I'm getting a deep sense of relief. There is so much in this world. There is enough for everyone. You do not need to hoard everything for yourself out of fear that it will be taken away, that you will not find it tomorrow. You do not need to retaliate and fight for something that somebody else has, because there is enough for everyone. There is plenty for all. Lord Ganesh is here to stand by your side and to help you see that any obstacles to a poverty mindset will be removed, and you'll start to see how bountiful nature, life, humanity is. What can help you heal your sense of inferiority? And I don't know why, but I felt called to pull this card. There we go. We have Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Developing a backbone. Expressing your truths. Sticking to what it is you believe in. Not backing down. But doing it in a way in which it empowers other people rather than stops the conversation from happening. Because you can run the risk of trying to overcome a complex of inferiority by judging other people, thinking that they are not enough because they do not agree with your ideas, dismissing them as well. To transcend this and to overcome this inferiority, a flexible attitude is advised, one in which you are able to maintain your sense of self-esteem, but also honor the other person's viewpoint. Appreciate their own sovereignty, like a godlike being talking to another godlike being. And when I say godlike, I do not mean arrogant, I mean part of God, which we all are. Now, what can heal the anger position? Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice, developing a sense of trust, feeling not helpless or ashamed whenever you find out that there is something uncomfortable that rises up to the surface about you in personal conversations, but just sitting with it and working through, what am I accepting about myself at the moment? What is the universe trying to teach me? Adopting a very curious mindset. Whatever comes up, I'm going to patiently listen to it rather than react to it. It is a bit of a difficult undertaking. I'm not going to lie. But you can do it. Master Buddha is here to inspire you to overcome the anger placement in your shadow self. And then, what can heal you of secrecy? What can help you admit this part of yourself to yourself and to other people? Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. So what is happening here, group 2, is that a sense of greed can be tempered by understanding that if you leave something for tomorrow, it will still be there. That even though you might be scared to hear from other people that resources are depleting, that there is no gas, there is no food, oh my goodness. Whomever is pushing you from the outside into a survival mode, you can push back this energy by reacting with trust and an understanding that nature is constantly replenishing itself. Our bodies are constantly healing themselves. Things that have been tampered with can always grow back. So the gluttony can be appeased by trusting that life is bountiful, that there is enough for you, for me, for everybody. And that you do not need to lust after things that other people have because you are enough. And what can heal the self-loathing, the anger directed at you for not being good enough, for not being perfect and that kind of individual that fits and ticks all the boxes? Wow, I love her. Diana, the goddess of the moon, the hunt, the counterpart to Apollo, his twin sister. Focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. You can have what you want. You can have it. It is a question of accepting your shadow and thereby shifting the way you think. As you accept and integrate your shadow, as you understand that there is enough, that you can give of yourself, that you can flow in a more flexible way, that you can measure your tone, You can focus on what you want to see happen in your life rather than what you don't have, what you don't lack, what needs correcting, what needs improving, what you need to compete with other people for. In a way, this is a wound created by society, by the capitalistic system that encourages us all to be aggressive go-getters, competing with one another, to the point where it ends up being a race to some sort of abstract finish line where people are just walking on each other's skulls, crushing the competition, but splitting their humanity in this process. So the more focused you are on truly bringing up to the surface everything that you are, your talents, your abilities, your loving heart, your generosity, the more you're focused on accepting your emotions rather than trying to constantly control them and judge yourself very harshly, the better your life will be and the more your shadow will diminish. It will be accepted, integrated, and you will feel at peace with yourself rather than wanting to escape yourself because you are not, I don't know, name a famous celebrity that you adore. Yeah? You are just as you need to be. You have been given a body, a set of circumstances, a language, a specific set of skills to fulfill your destiny in this lifetime. Have fun in the process. Get playful and open up your heart. Let's see the things that you can be grateful for. Speaking of being playful, let's tap into this beautiful energy. So, peace and harmony, Archangel Raguel. Thank you, Raguel, for surrounding my life in a harmonious light. Feel free to say these affirmations with me or come back and refer to them. So I hope that a lot more light is coming into your system at the moment after we've been doing some really brave battering down of certain aspects that are not comfortable to acknowledge. Yes, they're not comfortable. But accepting them is your path forward towards increased freedom and self-assertion in your life. What else can heal your anxiety? Studying, learning. Wow. Thank you, angels, for allowing me to see that every day is a learning day. Let's say it once more. Thank you, angels, for allowing me to see that every day is a learning day. And this can also be finding comfort and peace by studying the works of other people, by tapping into universal knowledge, by participating in culture, theater, music, arts, to help you see how other people have found creative solutions to give meaning to their life, to live. And not by comparing yourself to them, but by allowing yourself to be transported in a different world for a while, and allowing that experience to give you a new perspective on your current reality. Focus your mind. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. So this is absolutely beautiful. We see all the chakras lit up here. Your inferiority can be overcome through the power of your thinking. Your mind is really important here. I recommend doing some Louise Hay affirmations. She's been really helpful to me, and maybe she can help you as well. We have here as well the inner voice. Thank you, angels, for guiding me through my inner voice. So this is not the case of hearing multiple voices that tell you to do awful acts. That is an aspect of the shadow self that has run amok and is in need of some psychotherapeutical intervention, as in the cases of people that suffer from intense paranoid delusions or schizophrenia. The inner voice is your intuition, that knowing that emerges out from you in moments of deep doubt or when you're pressed to make a decision. Listen to it. Come into a space of stillness and listen to it. It will guide you towards a sense of, I am enough, I am good enough, I don't need to chase anything. And in order to tap to that inner voice, you do need to accept and acknowledge the powerful feelings that you have, because I feel that your powerful feelings, as we saw earlier, might sometimes overwhelm this peaceful inner voice that is telling you, here is the answer to the question you have been asking. To get over the sense of mystery and secrecy, you can connect with music. Thank you, angels, for inspiring me through music. Music can be deeply healing to you. It can help change your frequency, can help ground you. And then finally, we have here, to help you heal self-hatred, the spirit animal. Thank you, animal kingdom, for blessing my path with love. So it could even be something with Diana and the spirit animal here, something as getting a pet. Your pet can be your best therapist. Loving your pet can help you understand how you can be more generous, how you can be less judgmental, because pets are very playful, they're instinctive. They get you in touch with a part of yourself that doesn't need to overthink things. It can just be. And that's how you accept your shadow self. So I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. Please take it and make it your own. I hope that this is only the beginning of the journey of self-discovery. Feel free to research deeper some of the ascended masters that appeared here today. Feel free to say these affirmations whenever you feel yourself going off balance or experiencing certain moments where you're like, why did I act like that? Is that me? That's your shadow self coming up to the surface, wanting to be acknowledged and loved, because it is part of you. So I wish you so much luck and so much light as well in this beautiful journey of self-discovery. And I hope to see you in my next one. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye. Hello group 3, welcome to your shadow work reading. This is a bit of a unique and special reading, and I do need to say that by the time I reached your group, it's already sundown, and the moment right when we wake up at sunrise and the moment when we tend to slow down throughout our day or tend to go to sleep at sundown are the specific moments when shadow work is most needed, when a lot of things might pop up to the surface of our consciousness that need to be addressed about how we handled our day or how we were perceived by other people as we were actively engaged in our everyday activities. So I'm getting a sense that your group is especially important in some way, shape, or form. I don't know exactly how, but I felt the need to mention this, and I look forward to seeing what your cards have to say. So this is for those of you that were drawn to door number 3, which I made it look a little bit like a curtain is being pulled to the side, and there are some scrapes or cuts in the door. So I feel that you might have been a person that might have suffered something in their life, maybe trauma, maybe might have needed to overcome some really difficult situations. I just changed my position, placing my body in a lotus position right now. Good. So I feel ready to begin as well. This is a mutual healing work. Me doing this work for you is hopefully not only serving to inspire you to continue on your shadow work process, because this reading is by no means a complete whole. It is the beginning of your shadow work, or a step in the process of your shadow work. At least this is the intention which I created. But it's also healing me. So as I'm creating these for you, I'm also working through my shadow aspects. If you skipped over the introduction, I feel the need to mention this again. This reading is also inspired by Christine Jetty and her book, Tarot Shadow Work for Healing, which I will link in the description box below for you if you want to dive deeper into this subject. But now let's begin by making the star spread of discovery, and I will be using the White Witch Tarot to understand what lies in your shadow self. And the whole purpose of this reading, keep in mind, is not to heal or get rid of your shadow self. It is to acknowledge it, to try to understand what lies inside of it, and thereby Luna, yeah, my cat made an appearance here. She's a bit rowdy. And thereby, as we are finding out what lies in the content of your shadow self, to accept it, to bring light into it. The point is to diminish your shadow self so that it doesn't actually take control of your life, rather than to get rid of it. We cannot get rid of our shadow selves. It is a part of our unconscious side. the nature of humanity that we keep bringing with ourselves throughout our experiences. So I feel that my cat popping into your reading, and yours is the only reading that Luna wants to make an appearance into, is significant for clearing out energy. She usually appears when there's a lot of negativity that needs to be cleansed. Luna, come here, baby. Okay. So hopefully she's gonna find some place to stay on the bed. But let's begin with your reading. So the star spread of discovery. What lies in your shadow self? Position 1, denial. Position 2, anxiety. Position 3, inferiority. Position 4, anger. Position 5, secrets. And position 6, self-loathing. Okay, I'm going to flip open these cards and guide you through the interpretation of the major arcana and how they each represent a specific part of your shadow. I will be talking about your shadow, okay, not necessarily about yourself completely, because you are also your solar conscious self. You're not only your shadow. So keep that in mind. So in the denial position, we have the Hermit. People might tell you that you're a loner, but you might not think that of yourself. People might think that you're a person that retreats very quickly from situations, that might not commit so easily to things. But you're not aware of that, or you don't want to accept that about yourself. You're in denial about the fact that you need time away from society. You could be a born introvert that has been educated into becoming an extrovert. So in a way, you were taught from a young age how not to be yourself, that being yourself is not valued. You could be a person that is mystical, spiritual, but you were, again, indoctrinated into a system that prioritizes reason and logic above anything else. You are in denial of your desire to be a loner, an introvert, a person that likes to study, to research. You might spend a lot of time trying to convince other people that you are not a loner. Potentially, there might be some negative connotations in your culture regarding a person that is a loner. Instead of thinking that it is a blessing to be able to spend a lot of time by yourself, you might be thinking there's something wrong with you. But you don't want to go there, because the Hermit in the denial position shows me that you are doing everything you can to push away the thought that you actually enjoy solitude. Now, let's see. What is the card in the anxiety position? Oh, wow, the Moon. The Moon. Your feelings give you anxiety. So in a sense, when you are by yourself, you're trying all your best to not be by yourself, because when you are by yourself, a lot of feelings come up to the surface and you might feel overwhelmed. You might not know how to handle them. You might start crying and you might start freaking out if you're crying, feeling a lot of fear when dealing with potentially darkness, being by yourself in a house, in a room, and the feelings that might creep up, almost like ghosts around you. The Moon is the most feeling, sensitive, intuitive card. You might be afraid of your own intuition, your emotions, your imagination. And you might have been educated to stifle it from a very young age, believing that it is not valuable. The shadow, to a large extent, is created by us growing in a specific family, in a culture, in a religious mindset, in a specific kind of society. But then it is our own individual sovereign self and the responsibility that we have towards constructing ourselves to accept and love that shadow and figure out how to not give it power, because it might end up ruling us throughout our life by putting us into circumstances where we ask ourselves, what came over me that I did that thing? Is this me? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? That's your shadow. That's a moment of deep awareness showing you that a part of yourself that you're not comfortable acknowledging wants to be seen and heard and integrated into your psyche. So feelings bring you a lot of anxiety. Anything related to mothering, nurturing. Now let's see. What gives you a complex of inferiority? Justice, having to deal with authority, following the law, rules, regulations. You might not know exactly why you need to obey certain rules in your life. Giving equally or establishing a fair play negotiation might make you feel inferior. I feel that when you were young, you grew up in an environment where people were constantly arguing. There were constant interruptions. You tried to draw appropriate boundaries to protect your self-esteem, and you were punished for it. You might feel that that was unfair, and now, as you're growing older, you're having a very strong disdain against regulations and rules and people in positions of power and authority telling you how to live your life, what to do. Justice is in the position of inferiority. This shows the complexes within which you were brought up. You might have been the negotiator between two people that were arguing. You might have lived in a family that separated, divorced, and you always had to be the middle person. But I think that this created a sense of resentment within you regarding, why do you always need to be the one responsible? Why do you always need to be the one that has to come in and draw the line? And why are you punished when you draw boundaries that should protect you from other people and other people from each other's wrath? Wow, powerful. I feel like you're also incredibly eloquent and intelligent, because I feel like words are just flowing through me in your reading to an easier extent than the previous two piles. In the position of anger, we have, whoa, the devil. The devil. My mind just went blank. Again, the shadow aspect, yeah? The devil talks here about materialism, obsession, being linked to something, being chained. It might even talk about your anger putting you in very difficult social circumstances where you might need to be restrained in some way. I really want you to, in the second, as you see these cards, accept whatever feeling is coming over you. Accept whatever lack of feeling is coming over you. It's so important because I feel like your shadow is quite large. There's a reason why I'm filming this at dusk. There's a reason why there were some interruptions, why my cat came through. I feel that you guys, predominantly, that chose group 3, have a very large shadow. And you're running the risk of allowing you... See, I'm already tripping over my words because coming in contact with your shadow is also triggering mine. So it's all a process of becoming aware of that. And I tend to trip over my words when I feel fear. And you might feel it too at the moment. But it's all a process of accepting that, yeah? We're bringing awareness to whatever it is we're feeling by talking about it. Because I have a feeling, guys, that if you don't accept your shadow, if you don't do this really important shadow work, your shadow will grow to such an extent that it will rule your life towards actions that could be very harmful to yourself and other people. With the devil close to justice, this is about coming in contact with the law, sitting in a court of law, dealing with your shadow for potentially attacking somebody, for potentially being attacked, pulling in somebody in your environment that leads you to a moment of self-destruction. So let's see right now, what is the secret? What are you hiding from other people? What can be a family secret that you need to acknowledge? The Empress. Wow. So this speaks about maternity again. Maternity, mothering. And we see here that what creates anxiety is the moon. Luna, no. Luna wants to come through again in your reading, and I'm trying to stop her because I don't want her to bother the reading. But again, she's trying to cleanse this energy. So the secret is potentially having a child out of wedlock, is a fear of becoming a mother or a father. The secret is your fertility or sexuality. Feeling like there's something wrong with you for the fact that you like pleasure, for the fact that you want to give of yourself, that you are creating opportunities left and right, that you are actually bringing a lot of abundance in your life. You could also be triggered by objects, by materialism. The devil also speaks about this obsession with material aspects. And the Empress in the secret part could talk about an obsession with money, an obsession with wealth, having all the material aspects. The big house, the great car, and actually posting these things as trophies on social media. Let's take a deep breath in. So I feel that very strongly here, what comes across is an over-reliance on reason above your feelings could cut you off from your empathy and could also get you to seek only the fulfillment of your own wishes through food, through objects, through luxury items, through chasing money and having a great body and having a perfect person by your side, to the point of overriding your heart, your compassionate nature, how you might serve the collective, how you might contribute to culture, how you might just tap into that gorgeous, kind energy that resides within each person. And that might in turn incur some restrainment from the law to temper that over excess of ego. The devil is ego. You could be angered by other people's big egos without noticing that this might be something that resides also within yourself. And this ego might have been created because you were taught to be somebody who you're not. So there is a split here, a very strong split between who you are and who you were raised to be. So accepting the Hermit and accepting the devil as the anger position in your shadow self can bring you towards accepting people that you usually would call loners, weirdos, incels, arrogant assholes, whatever it is that you call such individuals. People that are losers, right? Now, this is the hardest part, and this is the self-loathing position. Wow, the High Priestess. I feel like this is exactly the opposite of Group 1. Group 1 had a deep self-loathing regarding their masculine side, their animus. And you, my loves, I feel you're the opposite. You have a deep wounding regarding your anima. You loathe this world of intuition, emotions, femininity, receptivity. You are all about the money and all about the work, all about the study and all about the success, climbing the career ladder. Or at least, again, this is an important distinction, your shadow is all about that. Yeah? So again, I don't want to reduce you to your shadow. Keep in mind there is that distinction. We're talking here about the elements of your shadow, almost like what lies in the underworld of your mind, in the unconscious realm, and what can sabotage your chances of success, growth, and intimacy. You might not be aware that you are secretly longing for alone time, that you don't feel comfortable with your feelings, that you are not as giving as you think you are, that you are more focused on looking good, working on your money, and being self-righteous in personal connections, rather than tapping into a compassionate sense of self and waiting and being lenient with other people. You loathe being tempered, waiting, receiving. You're afraid and you loathe this about yourself. To have somebody take care of you, to have somebody give you what you need. Your shadow tells you you can do it all on your own. You do not need anyone, while your conscious self is striving for love and connection and intimacy. So let's dive deeper now and see how the Dark Mirror Oracle cards are coloring what the major arcana has been telling us about the positions dormant in your shadow self. Okay, Spirit, so the Hermit is clarified by forgetting oneself, losing yourself in beauty, forgetting who you are in material goods, material objects, taking yourself shopping rather than to the therapist. And that's just one example. It can express itself in many different ways. And I'm feeling a deep pain right now in my solar plexus. I feel that this could be very difficult to digest. So I'm here with you. Let's stick through this together, okay? We're here to grow and to learn. We're here to grow and to learn, okay? I'm with you. And that's why we're doing this reading together. So, this represents a dark Adonis, loving somebody for how they look physically. A sense of superficiality is at play here, but then being emotionally detached and cold when you get to that intimate part. So these are aspects of yourself you might not be aware of, but this is what your partners might be seeing. People that get close to you, they see this beauty, this warmth on the outside, and this coldness on the inside. Why? Because your heart is a secret from you. Your femininity is repressed. Your emotions scare you, thereby you don't want to engage with them. Let's clarify the moon with atonement. So this is really the key to why things were repressed in your shadow self. A sense of betrayal, feeling backstabbed, feeling like everybody is out to get you, everybody's out to use you. And you see that it's a woman that is shot and backstabbed, right? Killing the feminine part of yourself because you think it's worthless and valueless in a society that only wants money, only wants pleasure, and only considers valuable what you can see and touch. Atonement is about giving your pardon, your forgiveness, praying in front of the divine feminine and asking her to come back up inside of you. Making peace with your femininity, whether you are a man watching this who has a very wounded anima, who's been stunted in his capacity to be nurturing and intuitive and creative and fertile and empathetic. Both genders can be these things. And both genders can be wounded in these things. As a woman, it is more strongly linked to your entire identity, especially if you identify with your sex. And as a man, healing this anima is a sign towards increased self-love and wholeness and improving relationships with women or with other men with a strong anima. Let's clarify justice here. fated to suffer. And I feel that this pertains to the legend of Snow White, when she's being given the apple that she ends up fatally biting from, which puts her into a deep, cold sleep. I feel that other women contributed to you hating your anima, whether you're a man or a woman, as I said earlier. Maybe you've been betrayed and backstabbed by mothers, sisters, friends, female friends. You saw the dark side of Eve, and you were scared and made to feel inferior for the fact that you're a woman. Maybe you were told that you're stupid if you're a woman, that you're less capable if you're a woman, that your emotions don't matter, that they're messy. And you were brought up to think you should be like a man, you should be successful, you cannot rely on anybody else. And even though you might feel quite feminine, you repress those parts of yourselves because you attach to femininity a complex of inferiority. Almost as if being a woman is equated in your shadow self with being a victim, and you are anything but victim. Right? Wrong. Because this is creating a split within you. A part of yourself wants to let the Empress shine. And you might fall into the current discourse of being a queen, right? And pampering yourself, self-care day. You might love these tags that are present and they are overflowing in the love and light community. But at the same time, there's something cold and hard here within your shadow that shows that femininity cannot be trusted. My feminine side cannot be trusted. I cannot rely on my intuitions. My feelings lead me to perdition. Let's clarify the devil. Oh my God, this is the key. Look, artificial heart, a robotic way of relating to the world. Beautiful, perfect, pretty to a painful extent. Pretty to an extent that is almost artificialized. So this can also be using enhancements, right? Using surgery, using all sorts of beauty spells, subliminals, using products, creating your whole life around the use of such products, delaying the process of aging, eating well, working out to an obsessive degree. But then inside, the light has been dimmed. You see the choker, right? The entrapment. The fierce entrapment. And her lips, they're also sealed. Not being able to speak. Not being able to express your light. Now, let's see. Clarifying the Empress is masquerade. Wearing femininity almost like it's a mask. Believing in feminine beauty only in the external aspect. Potentially this might be even using makeup to an extent where it transforms you into a completely different being. Hiding your true self. Hiding your true worth. But inside there is this Empress. Inside there is this being that has so much feminine energy. The Empress and the Moon. But she needs to stop covering up the pain with makeup. To stop covering up the fear of feelings with a polished exterior. This is what lies in your shadow self, my love. Let's get deeper. Clarify the self-hatred card. Peaceful among thorns. There is a belief here that you can always be attacked, consumed, dissolved, that things around you are either out there to fuck you or kill you. And I'm sorry if I was a bit blunt, but I felt the force of that, you know? You cannot survive in this world as a woman. So you dimmed your feminine energy down. you silence that Shakti in the shadow self, and you allow a masquerade to come out. An enhanced image of femininity that you have control over and you can bring out only when you feel like it. And in other times, you hide it. Your shadow is about accepting this aspect and coming back to yourself. Coming back to the sense of, I am a person that likes to wait. I am a person that likes to be a loner. I find value in that. I find value in being myself as I am naturally. I draw my sense of self-esteem from my deep connection to the earth, from what I eat, not from what I don't eat, not from what society tells me is the current beauty standard, so I try to force myself to fit into it, to use up all my money and my hard work, to enhance myself to please other people, to trim and fit my body into the box that society has created for me. Peaceful among thorns, you feel that the only way you can gain protection in life and succeed is if you turn yourself into this very non-feeling, perfectly looking, and yet robotic being that follows regulations, complies, and just moves on. And that anything can be glossed over with some laughter and pleasure and fun and chit-chat. When in reality, you are a very deep individual, incredibly intuitive. You pick up on even the slightest changes in a person's atmosphere. And believe it or not, you are not fated to suffer. So now that we looked at the content of your shadow self, which deals with this deep wound to the anima, which talks about self-esteem problems that need to be worked through in order for true love to come into your life as you're also loving yourself fully. Let's bring in the Ascended Masters, shall we? So let's see who's on your side, who's spiritually on your team. Yeah, let's take a deep breath together, yeah? Okay. So, Mercury, open communication. So, get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. And this is very beautifully sitting in opposition to the image where the artificial heart is locked and where the lips are sewn. Get a weight off your chest. Speak. Speak into being your desires, your plans. Communicate. Not just chit-chat or gossip. I'm not saying that that's the only thing you do, but the shadow self might try to help you hide behind those things. Speak with clarity, with honesty, not hiding who you are. Not allowing your shadow to come out in personal connection, but becoming aware of those idiosyncrasies, of the ways in which we can correct our language. It's like, I said that. Why did I say that? That's funny, right? Let's explore that a bit deeper. And then, wow, none other than Archangel Michael can help you heal anxiety, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Forgiveness is yours. You can heal your divine feminine aspect, your anima. You can heal it. You are protected. And if you don't have a physical protector in your life at the moment, you have Archangel Michael on your side. What can help you heal your complex of inferiority? The Holy Amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond your current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So, I guess you know that wallowing in sadness and feeling like you are fated to suffer is not the way forward towards manifesting your heart's desires. Replace those negative thoughts with, I can do it. It is possible. It is within my reach. I might not know exactly how, but it is coming towards me. I am bringing into being whatever it is that my heart desires. But in order to do that, You need to tune into your heart to understand what your heart is desiring. And since the shadow self is blocking your heart's light, who can help you heal it? Horus, Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. This is gorgeous energy. Thank you so much. And I can hear the water running down through the pipes of my bathroom. An overflow of emotions, allowing yourself to ugly cry, to feel all of your feelings, whether it is anger, joy, exhilaration. I feel even allowing yourself to have loud orgasms during sex. Expressing, communicating your heart's beauty. Opening your cosmic gateway, which begins with opening up yourself, your heart. Not thinking that you know for sure that life is not going to work out for you. Nobody can have such a certainty because life is a mystery. And loving that mystery is loving yourself and is loving the process of being alive. What can help you heal secrecy? Kali Ma, facing your fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar, my love. Yes. You have to get Kali Ma to come through and sever your head symbolically. What that means, metaphorically, is that she will cut down the ego that has been built due to an attachment to form over feeling, to matter and material things over true healing and true emotions. I feel like you're already in this process of really getting your shadow under grips. That's why you're here on my channel. But this is further encouragement that Kali Ma is here to help you get rid of stubborn ideas, stubborn plans of nihilism that you've created for your life. Things are never going to work out for me, therefore I'm going to lock my heart and just focus on pleasure and money. But you don't know. We don't know. We never know what's going to pan out. And that's scary, but it's also beautiful. It depends on what you choose to do with this freedom. So facing the fear of being yourself. You might feel that there is no point in being yourself because society just asks you to conform. Society just values a pretty face, a pretty, rich face. I'm hearing some of you could be obsessed with the Kardashians as well, by the way, which promote unrealistic standards of beauty. But what society might be mediatizing that it values has nothing to do with how people go about living their lives on a spiritual and deeply messy way. It doesn't have anything to do with the astrological transits that are helping us grow on a soul level in this incarnation. So tuning back more into the spiritual aspect will help you heal, and calling on Kali Ma especially. And then the final card, how can you heal self-hatred? Well, again, your heart. Focusing on your heart. Your heart matters, your emotions matter, your femininity matters. And if you choose to unleash it and get your feminine side out of the shadow self, your life is going to change in such beautiful ways. Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. I don't feel I need to emphasize more. This card just wraps it up so beautifully, from a sense of being closed in, forced, controlled, limited, peaceful among thorns, to a sense of blooming, opening up, no sharp edges, escaping from the prison of your own making, the limitations of your own mind and heart. And I have to turn on my Christmas lights because it got a bit dark here. But now I'm going to leave you with a set of affirmations. Okay, my love? So I do want to say thank you so much for being so brave and going down this specific pick a card reading path with me today. So, what are the affirmations that group 3 needs to say as they are pulling the curtain from the picture perfect self that they struggle so much to create, and they're revealing their true, authentic self. So the first affirmation is, oh my goodness, you really need to believe that you are protected by something higher than yourself. This is the only way you can counteract the devil energy. Dear angels, I allow you to support me as I grow to become more spiritually aware. And I feel here that this is also the energy of the Mother Maiden Crone around you, healing your heart, healing your connection potentially with the women in your life that might have betrayed you or made you feel like there's no value in being feminine. We also have here spiritual gifts, Archangel Raziel. Thank you, Raziel, for helping me channel my gifts and talents. And Archangel Raziel is none other than the Angel of Mysteries. So there you go. The mystery is the blessing. You are a mystery to other people. Other people are a mystery unto yourself. And it's so much fun to get to know mysteries. Leap of faith. I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. This is like almost like a superpower, like a superwoman energy. Valuing femininity, valuing receptivity, intuition, allowing your emotions to guide you towards where you need to go. Making decisions based on your heart, just because you feel something, not because your mind is telling you this is a reasonable investment. Yeah, we have here as well, healthy choices. Thank you, angels, for guiding me to help to make healthy decisions. Aligning yourself. I also think that movement and yoga can really help you in this process. Transformation, Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. Yes. Time heals anything. And especially if you have a team of beautifully supporting angels, you can recover from anything that has happened regarding your wounded anima. And then, shine your light, Archangel Uriel. For a second I wanted to say Ariel, but potentially Ariel, the lioness of God that gives you strength, and Uriel, the light of God, are both needed in your life. Thank you, Uriel, for helping me to share my light with the world. You still have it in you. It hasn't gone. Even though there might be an artificial heart presented to the world in unconscious ways. So again, the shadow aspect, you might not be aware that you're portraying this kind of cold demeanor in personal connections, but your light is still in there. Your enthusiasm, your playfulness, your passion is there, but it has just been dimmed down and stuffed into your shadow. So I hope that this reading helped. I hope that you can use it, that it serves you, that it inspires you to do some more research, to continue on this shadow work process. I created it under this wonderfully witchy and mystical Scorpio season energy. Scorpio is about deep healing, but also facing the truth about ourselves, authenticity, exploring dark aspects of our psyche. And as we do so, we rise above like the phoenix bird towards unknown heights. So I hope this helps. Take care for the upcoming lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is taking place 48 hours from the moment after which I published this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading. It's a very specific one. I allowed it as much time as it needed. I used the decks as I could, interpreting Christine Jetty's wonderful exercise in her book, linked down below. So I wish you the best. I hope this light work served. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next one, my loves. Take care. Bye.